Combining his passion for history and toy soldiers, a Brookfield man spent more than a decade recreating a moment in time dating back 159 years. Michael Schlesinger takes us to this retiree's basement diorama, highlighting a turning point in American history.
I've been able to carry on playing with toy soldiers when I was 7 years old to being able to still play with them.
What you're looking at is at least 6 decades worth of a toy soldier collection. The end result? The Civil War diorama Mark Beyer completed just a few months ago. It's at the Battle of Gettysburg from July 1863.
In 1959, I was given the Battle of Gettysburg as a Christmas gift with all the little figures and all that, and it became interesting, and I still have some of these guys here.
This 71-year-old retiree from Brookfield says when he began on this project some 10 years ago, he started off small. First, there were the designs, then all the pieces.
Well, let's put together a few cannons and some guys, and they're interesting to look at. Then I got more and more soldiers and more, and I thought, you know, when you start putting everything together, it starts to take on a little bit of life, and I thought this is kind of fun.
Then COVID hit, and he had a lot of time to work on it. The numbers now, 800 soldiers, 85 horses, an old Abe Eagle, dog and cat. These are just the figures.
I would study what the people actually wore, what their uniforms might be or not be, what the unit flags looked like, and I could make it all.
There are all the flags, dozens of cannons, trees, furniture, 6 campfires with LED lights, a field hospital, kitchen, and graveyard, just to name some of the items.
I would network with model railroad people and see the materials that they use and create this stuff.
Of course, a big focus, the generals and regiments of both the North and South, included the Wisconsin 2nd, 6th, 7th Iron Brigade, and Wisconsin 5th Artillery, all on a scale of 132. So a 2-inch soldier equals 5 foot 4 inches.
Gettysburg had 200,000 combatants. All I can do is a small slice of that fight.
This history buff and artist, all in one, explained the intricate process of just painting one soldier. He tells me he applies about 10 different colors with just about the same amount of brushes. Acrylic paint for the prime coats, oil-based for faces and hands.
If I'm putting a first pass on one of the soldiers to put a blue coat on this Union private here, I'm going to put that on as carefully as I can, put his hat on with some color, and then I set them aside to dry because it needs to be dry to come back for the second pass.
All the miniature men come from a plastic mold, but for the trees and brush, a lot of time he utilizes natural objects. And for the tents?
For about a penny, I can get the right kind of paper that replicates canvas a bit and has the right thickness, and I can fold it to make a 132 scale wall tent. And that's how I set up the encampment.
The feedback from all of this, you might wonder?
I get a really good reception. People start to become interested in what's going on in the Civil War, and why do people fight, and how does conflict come to be.
Mark tells me he plans on adding 40 more military members to the mix. I asked him if he'd ever move his display from his basement to, say, a museum. His answer?
I haven't thought through, like, the end result. Well, where do I go with this? Right now, it's just going to be right here.